Yeah, we bring reviews of your house. Talk to our dudes of your house. I bring my views of your house. Wrestling truths of your house. We talk to you in your house. We keeps it cool in your house. We keeps it cool in your house. I'm spitting truths in your house. Yes, Mark's hating on his fast. Becky's niche on the man. Play with two like a lions. Household a dangerous alliance. I am a nightmare like Cody, and I'm overcoming like Kobe. No, they cannot hold me. Come listen, I'm hosting, critique, and I'm boasting. This wrestling I'm knowing.
It's all about podcasts these days.
This is Leo Rush, the NXT Cruiserweight Champion, and you are listening to the In Your House podcast.
This is Austin Theory of Evolve, and you're listening to the In Your House podcast.
This is AEW's Darby Allin, and you're listening to In Your House podcast.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to In Your House, starring Alakon House and my man, Michael Hutchison. That's Mikey Hutch. This is the People's Podcast. Haha. Hey guys, you already know who it is. It's your boys, Con and Hutch, ready to get at work when it comes to this professional wrestling business. That is what we do, and hey, we love it. So let you guys know where you guys can listen to this at. You guys can listen to this at Apple Podcast, Spotify, Spreaker, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Himalaya. Hey, you don't have an Apple device? That's alright. We're on Google Play. Anywhere that you guys are, we can get to you. And ooh, where is the clock? I'm checking the time because last time that I checked, In Your House was the hottest professional wrestling podcast in the Midwest, because we hit them with that workity, round the clock. You guys already know what it is. Oh yes, the director's in the building. Me and Hutch about to kill him. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing fantastic. It's great to be back here finally at Dragon's Horde, and we didn't come alone, man.
We sure did it, man. We sure didn't. Absolutely not. Never that. And you know,
we have our first guest.
I know, our first guest here on the Facebook Live show, man.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm the first?
Yeah, you're the first.
Oh, you're the first one.
All right.
The first one.
No pressure.
And no, there's a lot of pressure.
There is a lot of pressure. I can feel it.
We do have 5 stars.
It's like being really deeply underwater right now.
Sabrina Thunder here, Lavender Pace.
There we go. But we do have to let you know that we have our other host of the Facebook Live podcast here, and of course that's reporter Drake Kennedy. How's it going, bro?
It's going, man. How's it going?
Going good, man. Going good. You doing all right?
Yeah, I'm not doing too bad. Glad to be off work, chilling with the boys, having a good time.
Right. Talk about some wrestling, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. And as Hutch said, we do have our first ever guest here on the Facebook Live podcast, and man, we had a chance to really meet this guy at DCCW New Year's Brawl, and we had an absolute blast there, Hutch.
Yes, we did. I mean, what a show. I mean, so many moments, and again, just so many moving parts and things happening. We told you guys you're going to hear those 4 letters a lot.
Oh, yeah.
On this show.
Yeah.
And you're going to be speaking them yourself.
Oh.
You know, in the coming weeks and months and
maybe even years.
Yeah. Man. Collectively there, we're trying to build something.
For sure. We're trying to build something very cool, very different, very unique than what you're seeing in wrestling in the Midwest. We're trying to tell stories, man.
Stories, personalities,
characters. For sure.
Characters you want to tune back in and see.
Every single time.
Yeah, be it the GM, be it the ring announcer, which we're going to get to, be it the talent, the tag teams, the women that start to be there.
Yeah.
The singles competitors, everybody. Hell, even like the diehard fans, man, because there's some crazy personalities out in the crowd too.
Yeah,
I can't
and they
deal with
keep
y'all.
coming back. They keep coming
Man, I got
back.
people talking about, I want to buy your jacket. Man, I want to buy my jacket. Come on.
Bro, she's trying to get your jacket for like what, $10?
She's trying to give me a 10 spot.
A 10 spot for the AEW jacket.
I'm
bro?
like, you can't even at least offer a piece of pizza too.
Starting off hot here,
You
bro.
ain't gonna come at me with at least a hot pocket or something. Like, I got love for you. You're always a sweetheart. Come on now. She's like, I'll bring you $60 next time. I still ain't seen that $60.
Next time came and she still ain't have it, bro.
Still ain't have it.
But what we were talking about here basically is the fact that we're trying to build something very special with DCCW, bro. And when we did DCCW New Year's Brawl, there was a man that I personally hit up myself because I've seen some of his work, seen some of the stuff that he's done, and I just thought the cat was super, super talented. And when he got to DCCW, he proved that. He proved me right. He proved me. I should have given him a ring. You know what I mean? And the man that we're talking about here was the ring announcer who just made the night just that much more great. I mean, it was already going to be good, but he made it that much better, man.
I mean, it was an electric start, man.
Yeah.
I mean, because the crowd comes there, you know, it's a great spot to be in.
Sure.
But it's an easy spot to mess up, I would think, as well. And I can't speak on that because I've never been a ring announcer before.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like that's, you know, a difficult job onto itself.
Yeah.
But, you know, you need to come out there and, like, get the crowd's attention right out of the gate.
Get him jumping.
And this cat right here, he did that.
And the cat that we're talking about here is the Liverpool Lip, Earl Joseph. How's it going, bro?
Good evening. I'm doing great. It's great to be here, actually, and I'm really honoured to be the first live guest, actually. That is something. You kept that a little secret. I have to say.
I did.
Kayfabe's still alive, brother.
Kayfabe is still alive.
But you were right about what you were saying about Muncie. I can't tell you how great a time I had up there. I was saying to you before the show went live, I was really impressed with how they kept the crowd going all the time. Pre-show, interval, after-show. They made the people feel not just that they were there, but they are really organically a part of things. And that's all people want. They want to throw down a few dollars. They don't want the feet massage. They don't want to be told they're amazing. They just want to be made to feel part of something. And that's where companies like DCCW come in, and they give, you know, a real organic hometown audience, a real traditional good time, and you can't say anything negative about that, frankly.
Yeah, absolutely not. Absolutely not. So you're here on the In Your House Facebook Live pod, and I want to let you guys know out there in the 14 different countries across these great United States and locally right here in Indiana, we are recording this on a Thursday evening. We're recording this and going on Facebook Live here right now. We've already got some of the people in here, man.
The people?
We got the people. We got the people already showing up. But when you guys listen to this on the podcast, on all major podcast platforms, it'll be Friday morning, 6 a.m. So put In Your House in your ears while you're driving the kids to school, or maybe you're just driving to work. We're here to give you that work because that is what we do. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. And the first question that I always love to ask our guests anytime that we have them, because you're here, you are here a far ways, man, a far ways. So I want to ask you, you're here, but you're here for wrestling. My first question for you is, where did wrestling start for you, bro? Like, when did you become a fan? And like your earliest memories of loving this?
I tell you, I actually can remember my very first memory of wrestling, and it was watching The Undertaker when I was about 4 or 5 years old.
Yeah.
And that's in about 1990, cough, cough. Not giving that away. And I remember watching The Undertaker. He just, he squashed a job guy.
Yeah.
And after the bell rang, Paul Bearer gets into the ring. Undertaker zips him up, puts him in a body bag. Undertaker hits the ropes and hits this leg drop. And I tell you, I ran to my father, terrified. I remember thinking, this guy's dead. This guy's actually dead. And I'm watching a murder on television. And I tell you, it's stuck since then. It's been 30 years later, and I'm as big a fan as ever.
Oh man, it's always great to hear that, because Hutch, we get a lot of different personalities here. I mean, from many different promotions, and it's always great to pick their brain and figure out what got them here. Why are they still here? Because as you know, and probably all you guys know, wrestling doesn't stick with everybody. You know what I mean?
No. And I've always said that it's weird, this wrestling thing, because it always seems like I've never met anybody who's just stumbled upon wrestling on their own. Like,
Yeah.
normally it's been, like, passed down.
Yeah.
It's like, and it always had to start somewhere.
For sure.
But, like,
For
you know,
sure.
with me, like, I remember, like, my earliest memory of it was Hogan and Andre. And I remember, like, when he body slammed that big son of a bitch, dude, I'm just like, little me was all just like, that's the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
And I've been a fan ever since. So many other moments, including the one that you mentioned.
Yeah, well, there's the commonality. It's one single moment that defines then a lifetime love of wrestling, and that really speaks about the majesty of the sport. You know,
for sure.
I'm talking 3 decades on. I would pinpoint the exact moment when my heart went right out to wrestling.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's taken me. Well, I mean, I hadn't actually entered the business until last April.
Really?
Yep, I just, having moved to the United States from England in November 2018, I found myself, while waiting for my green card, quite bored. And the lack of public transport in this state was quite alarming, so I couldn't really go anywhere because I couldn't get a driving license yet.
Right.
And so it just so happened that where we lived, around the corner, was a training school and a promotion.
Okay.
I just went down, started training. We found that my talents are better served elsewhere.
Yeah.
Vocally, verbally.
Sure.
And here we are, right now. We're only 9 months in, and a lot has gone on, a lot has changed in that time.
Yeah, for sure, man. It is crazy because the way, I mean, as talented as you are, I thought that you were in a lot longer, I'll be honest.
I did too.
Because,
Genuinely surprised about that.
because Hutch, we're pretty new ourselves, you know what I mean?
And obviously, any listener out here knows I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I mean, yeah, like I thought you've been doing this at least for a few years. Man.
No, I do have a background in performance. I've been in a lot of bands before.
Sure,
The videos I do for the promotions I work for, I have a history of doing videos and social media for other previous jobs I've had back in England.
Sure.
So wrestling seems to be the sort of convergence point for all of the abilities I already had, and it's definitely the best way to express them.
Oh man, and I can tell when we met, and it was, when we met, it was like go, like we were already off to the races for the show. You know what I mean? I was having to set up, you were asking questions and stuff like that. But when we met and when we had a chance to actually do some things together, I'm like, I feel like this guy gets it. You know what I mean? Like, and it's very rare. Like, and this is not to take anything away from anybody that I've worked with, like as far as professionally in the business, because I've worked with a lot of great guys. But I felt like I've had to over-explain how things I think should work. You know what I mean? And everybody wants to do it their way, and that's fine. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with
Everybody
that.
has their own vision.
Everybody has their own vision, but I wanted to tell stories. I wanted people to be larger than life, so I have to tell people, I want you to be this, I want you to be that. When I met you, Earl, I didn't have to tell you anything because it's like you already knew who you were, and that just made things for me so much easier. You know what I mean?
Well, the thing about what I do, being Earl Joseph, it's essentially me.
Yeah.
The one thing I've really found, having moved to the United States, is that I can really be myself.
Sure.
And people may think the brightly coloured clothes, or my hair, or the way I speak is an act, is a gimmick. It's truly not. You can ask my wife. This really is me. What you see is what you get, and you can take from that what you will. Honestly.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So you were saying that you trained. And where did you train at?
I trained down at WCWO at 1151 South Kentucky Avenue in Indianapolis.
Okay. So you trained there like under like Joey Owens and people like that.
Yeah. Don Basher, Joey Owens. We also had people come in and guest. It's been a fantastic way to learn what wrestling is about, because you can sit and watch it and you can observe and you can make all kind of assumptions and judgments, but until you're actually in the mix, you have no idea.
Sure.
And of course, I'm not saying I came into the business thinking, oh, this is easy, because I'm not stupid, obviously.
Right.
But certainly getting in the ring for the first time and training for those first few months, probably the most difficult thing I've done in my life, because the exertion it took, something I'm not used to. It made me better myself. I started going to the gym twice a day. I started watching what I ate for the first time in my entire life. It made me want to be better. It spurred me on and encouraged me to push forward, because I knew I could make something of myself if I actually applied myself.
Absolutely, and I think you're well on your way. So I've done enough talking. I'm going to throw it over to my co-host here, Hutch. Do you got any questions?
Did he really finally just admit that he's done enough talking? I think Ripley's just hitting my line, dude. They really can't believe it.
I can't believe it.
Yeah, they're shocked.
Go ahead, man. You got any questions for the Liverpool Lip?
Yeah. Where can I get those pants?
Man, I got these from Macy's.
Macy's. You hear that?
Macy's.
I have a stack of these at home. I got orange, I got purple, I got white, I got
Oh,
bright
yes,
green.
Yeah.
Dude, I just picture he like opens his closet door and it's like a SpongeBob episode. It's just like all just
All
vibrant
the
different
colors.
colors.
No, my wardrobe used to look like, you ever see those Ernest movies?
Yeah.
And his wardrobe was all the same clothes. That's what it used to look like. And I finally just thought, I'm going to be myself in my fashion. I want to wear loud clothes. I want to look a bit deranged. It's okay. It's okay to look deranged.
Well, you're definitely the right business for it.
Yeah, the thing is, I don't stand out at all.
Oh man, and we're having a great time here talking to Earl Joseph, and so we got a chance to do the DCCW show. So I'm gonna ask a question over here to Drake, and I want to ask you this, man. You were out there in the crowd watching the show. I mean, and Hutch was out there. He was doing commentary, which that was great. Hutch always does a great job. But I want to ask you from a fan's perspective, because you were out there in the crowd. When you were seeing Earl Joseph do his thing, when you were seeing him, what were you thinking, man?
I was thinking the same thing you guys were. He's been in the business quite a while and doing what he's doing for years and years.
Yeah.
It's a shock to know. It's been such a short period of time. You're super professional, super wonderful.
Yeah.
It was awesome. But added another level to the show.
For sure.
From the last show that I went to. It's awesome.
Yes, man, I agree with that. And it's like I said, we're new ourselves, Hutch, and to know that he's new too, and looking for opportunities, hungry, just looking, wanting to find something in this business to make his own, to call his own. So I guess my next question for you, Earl, is what are you looking for in this business? What are your goals? What do you want to, at the end of your career, I guess, what do you want to say that you did?
Wow, that's a really good question. I think I would start off before improvising the rest of the answer by saying that what I want more out of anything in life and from my work and from wrestling is just the sense of personal satisfaction that has eluded me my entire life.
I feel it, bro. Trust me, I know.
And that's what I get from wrestling. It's not just the satisfaction of being the centre of attention, although that does help.
Yeah.
I mean, can't you'll
I
agree
know
to
it,
that?
man.
And,
Total narcissist.
Yeah, he's got. Yeah, you looking in the mirror when you say that. It's strange.
He's like total narcissist.
Yeah. It's the first time he's looked me in the eye. It's wild. But in terms of the actual specifics of wrestling, I mean, I don't want to start saying I want to work for this company, I want to work for this company.
Sure.
At the moment, it really is just a case of seeing how far I can go with it. The reception I've received, from you guys, from other promoters, from fans, has been absolutely excellent.
Yeah.
And well beyond my wildest expectations. I thought people would just look at me and listen to me and go, we're on camera, right? They do this to me.
Why'd that have to be in my face? Great.
Not the first time you've said that today,
They're
Hutch.
going, perfect.
He's about to meme the hell out of that, bro.
Thanks, Lavender Pants.
But the one thing I haven't had since I started in wrestling is people having a go at me or telling me I don't belong. If anything, it's been the opposite. I've been more than welcomed by so many people, and I've been taught a lot by so many people that I have an eternal gratitude to. My goals so far is to just keep going. I have a big show coming up on Saturday in Terre Haute, the New Wave Pro. That should be, I think that'll be my biggest show so far. That'll be a live broadcast. I'll be backstage correspondence. I really can't wait for that.
Oh, that's going to be great. I'll be there too with you, man. I'll be doing commentary. You'll be backstage correspondent. And it's a lot about that show. There's a lot of the same people that was there at DCCW. They're going to be there, so it's going to just feel like being right back at home, and it's going to be great. So I'm going to throw it back to Hutch, man. Do you got any questions for the Liverpool Lip, Earl Joseph?
And I will be there in spirit. I will be there in spirit.
Really wish you could make it, but totally.
Does that mean you'll be drunk at the show?
No, I will not be partaking in the spirit. I will be there in spirit.
Okay, I just wanted to clear that up.
I will be physically at home hanging out with my little ones.
Yes,
So that is what I'll be doing. And again, shout out to Sam Knight. He actually he was just like, hey man, if you came to con, you can do commentary with him, blah, blah, blah. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Another time, sir. another time. But yeah, back to you. You say you've been watching wrestling for 30 years. That's right. So you've seen a lot. Who would you say inspires you as far as?
Jake the Snake.
Love it.
Jake the Snake is just incredible. You hold your breath when you watch him cut a promo because it conveys everything. There's a particular promo that he cuts on, I think it's the $1 Million Man, and he talks about how the money will be the one thing that actually corrupts him and causes his downfall. And you're watching it going, oh my God, I can't wait for this match. Similarly, Raven is a big influence on me and someone that I've adored watching on television. In Britain, we used to get ECW at its peak, like 97 through 99 on cable television. We used to watch it on a channel called Bravo. And it was on at like 2 a.m, so I'd have to sneak downstairs when I was a little bit younger and watch, the Dudleys and stuff. And I was just transfixed by it because, when you're that young and you watch this stuff happen, you go, oh, right, there is another way then. So Jake the Snake, Raven, Big Boss Man.
Oh, good one. That's another good one.
A bit of a left field choice, perhaps, but I took to the Boss Man when I was younger because my father was a policeman for 30 years. And so when I was little, when I was 5 or 6, Big Boss Man on screen, he was my father for all intents and purposes.
Right.
But, as I got older and I started watching him with more trained eyes, more adult eyes, I realised that the guy weighed about 420 pounds and could move like he was half that size.
Yes, that's fast.
That guy was awesome. He was fantastic.
So good.
And his sidewalk slam has still yet to be bettered, in my opinion. People call it the black hole slam these days, but it's always the Boss Man slam, all right? Let's get that straight.
Yeah, facts.
All you new fans don't know nothing about nothing.
They don't know nothing about that.
But just going back, I just thought you might be interested. We were talking about early wrestling memories. I was very, very lucky enough to go to SummerSlam 92 at Wembley Stadium when the British Bulldog beat Bret Hart for the Intercontinental title.
That was huge.
I remember watching that live.
Yep.
Oh, man.
At the old Wembley Stadium, which was knocked down a few years ago. But I remember that. I remember the roll-up at the end because I could see it with my own 2 eyes. Even at age 7, I was up in my seat.
What was it like being in that environment?
Crazy. I remember. I have a very good memory. All right?
Yeah.
But I remember I went with my father, and there were people dressed as the Undertaker, people dressed as Hogan. It was just like one big party, and like I say, for a child to experience that, and then you see these people who you think are superheroes, who you don't think are real people.
Yeah.
And you watch the British Bulldog come out, and you go, he's a god. He's an Adonis. I don't believe what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
And to see him win that night, I still remember it now. And occasionally I've seen the match on the network again, and it brings back the old butterflies. I swear.
Takes you right back to that moment.
Oh, it absolutely does. I'll never forget that.
Man, absolutely. So,
It's funny you mentioned Jake the Snake, just to touch on that for a second. I was always a fan of Jake Roberts as well. I think what made Jake Roberts work is he worked in an era of wrestling where everybody was yelling and screaming and raw in your face. But Jake was quiet. He made you listen.
Yeah, it made you lean into the television, and then he would go, he'd snap.
Right.
Yeah.
And he would hit that point, that poignant moment where you take it home, so to speak, and then again, like you said, like, oh my God, like, you hear the phrase talking asses in the seats.
Yeah.
Jake Roberts would go,
Oh yeah, he must have drawn so many people to shows because you would watch his promo and you go, I don't know what this guy's going to do, but it's going to be bad. I have to pay to see this happen.
oh man, to this day, he still delivered my favorite Hall of Fame speech of all time. I mean, it was his Hall of Fame speech he did at the WWE Hall of Fame. I forget which year, but man, I just remember, like, I'm not even gonna lie, like, everything that he had gone through, because DDP had picked him up, and got him in with the DDP yoga and essentially saved his life. And I just remember I was in the fields listening to that because you got a guy that's one of the greatest storytellers of all time. Just when you think of psychology, who do you think of? Jake Roberts. That's the first person I think of when I think of psychology. And to hear him tell his story was just, it gave me goosebumps, you know what I mean?
yeah, because it was just real, man. I mean, that's all you say about it. It was just real.
I mean, we all saw Beyond the Mat as well, and we all saw what a terrible state he was in at that time in the late 90s, and people thought it wouldn't be long before he was underground.
He was gone, yeah.
But as you say, He's turned his life around, and good luck to him.
Oh yeah.
I'd love to see him in some way back on WWE. People have talked about, there was that rumor that he was supposed to be the higher power instead of Vince.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
But I think that would have been the wrong time to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if that quite was like.
I think attaching Jake Roberts to the word higher at that point in time might have not been the best creative decision ever made.
No, not at all. And we got some of the people in here real quick. I just want. Oh, look who we got in here. Parker Davis. That's Dalton Davis.
Dalton Davis,
Yes.
a good man.
Yes, he says hey to Earl. He wanted to let you know that he said hey.
Hey, Dalton.
Well, damn, I don't get a hey. All right,
No,
Dalton. All right, that's cool.
I guess it's
That's
cool. I mean,
Thanks, pal.
Mike.
I mean, he probably said it in a new way.
Dalton's great. He even gives me my own announcement when we're on shows.
Does he?
He takes the mic from me, brings my arms up. It makes me feel special. That's what I like about
I
him.
love that kid, man. He's a great kid. He is a great kid. We got so much of the peoples in here looking, and it's just another great Thursday night podcast. Like I said, when you guys listen to it on every major podcast platform, it'll be Friday morning, 6 a.m. And it's going so great. But we got to take a little pause for the cause. We got to pay some bills. And when we come back, we're going to continue to talk to the Liverpool Lip, Earl Joseph.
Wow. Feel bad.
Hey guys, this is the director, Con House of In Your House, and this episode is sponsored by Podcorn. Podcorn is a marketplace connecting podcasters to amazing podcast sponsorship opportunities such as host read ads, interview segments, topical discussions, and more. With Podcorn, there is no middleman. Podcasters of all sizes can browse and choose opportunities right on the platform, set their own rates, and collaborate with brands directly without any exclusivities. You never give up any rights to your podcast, and Podcorn is here to support you at every step to ensure you're protected and compensated for the work that you do for brands. The marketplace mission is to give podcasters transparency, creative control, and freedom, and full control of how and when they monetize. So check the show notes on this episode and you will see a link to www.podcorn.com/podcasters. But now it's time to get back to In Your House.
I'll switch to.
Hey guys, welcome back to In Your House with our guest, the Liverpool Lip, Earl Joseph. And man, you said that you came over here from the States, and or to the States, that is, and man, that's a big trip to make. You know, and you came here. Is the reason that you came here looking for opportunities in wrestling, or
No, I mean that would be insane. To take that leap would be wild. No, it's a lot more innocent than that. I just happened to meet the woman who would become my wife over Facebook 3 years ago.
Cool.
And then for the following 2 years, I was back and forth between Liverpool and Indiana.
Yeah.
While we were engaged, I was waiting for my marriage visa to come through.
Yeah.
Finally came through October 2018. 2 weeks later, I moved to the States. 2 weeks later, I get married.
Nice.
So it was quite the turnaround, you know.
Yeah.
I came over here with one suitcase, got rid of everything else.
Wow.
That's a story right there.
That is a hell of a story.
I was like Dick Whittington with a knapsack on my
Yes.
back.
I'm off to America.
Yeah. I'm off to find my fortune in wrestling, boys.
Love it, man. Love it. So,
Which I have, so
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm laughing.
yeah, you've done it, man. And now, like I said, like we've already talked about, you got this next show coming up here. Big show, the New Wave Pro anniversary show, and now you're going to be doing the backstage correspondence. So, without pulling the curtain back too much, how did that come to be for you? How were you able to get that opportunity?
Well, I was approached by Sam Knight
Oh, okay. Yeah.
in the aftermath of the DCCW show.
Yeah.
And he was extremely complimentary towards me, and Sam Knight actually complimented my presence.
Yeah.
And honestly, if someone like Sam Knight is going to say that you've got presence, then I mean that you can't top that, really.
For sure.
And sure enough, it was only 1 or 2 days later I exchanged messages with Michael Guess.
Yeah.
I'd said that I'd spoken with Sam. And sure enough, 2 days later, I was told that they want to bring me down. We'll try the backstage correspondence, and I honestly couldn't be happier.
Yeah.
Really grateful for the opportunity, especially from such a well-established and popular promotion who probably have people knocking the door down every month saying, let me in, please, let me in.
Yeah.
But to be approached by such established, popular, charismatic figures and asked to be part of their show, well, that was something else. And honestly, I've been beaming all week. I have to say, you know, I won't shut up about it to my poor wife. I'll go, she goes, is it New Wave again? I'll go, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yes, honey. Like, that's great, man. So let me, next question I have for you, I guess, and then I'll throw it over to Hutch, is are you watching anything current? Are you watching the current WWE product, the current AEW product? Are you watching NWA Power? Are you watching anything current, or are you just kind of so immersed in your career right now?
Well, that was the case for a couple of months. Sure. It was just me, because, you know, I have a tendency to do that sometimes and get lost. We all do, right?
Same.
You know what I'm talking about, Con. I can see
man.
you grinning and nodding like a dog.
Yes.
I love NWA Power.
Oh, I love it too.
Every Tuesday, if I'm not there at 6 o'clock, then I'm there almost soon after, because I love that show. And the one thing that annoys me about the show is Corgan has somehow taken the ideas I was having, which I know is a throwback to the old 80s studio shows.
Sure.
I really felt there was a place for that kind of thing. People are searching. You were talking about the new proliferation of characters and how much that means to us. And people are looking for that again.
Yeah.
They're looking for the question mark. They're looking for Aaron Stevens.
Yeah.
They're looking for, I mean, I love Eli Drake on NWA.
He's so good.
Every time he comes out, I'm like, I've got to shut up and listen to this guy. Because his voice is so powerful and commanding. I don't watch much WWE at the moment. It's just not interesting enough.
I understand. If you've listened to this podcast for the last 156 episodes, that's pretty much what we've been saying.
I look on YouTube, you know, their channel every sort of Tuesday morning, Saturday morning to see what's going on. And I must watch one video, and I get halfway through, and I go, I've got something much better to do right now. AEW, I've stopped watching it. I think I watched the first 5-6 weeks. I went to the show that was in Indianapolis when they came over about 4 or 5 weeks ago. But after that, it's just turned into something I don't enjoy.
Really? Wow.
I mean, the first thing I would change is this whole Dark Order Nightmare Collective thing they're doing. It's not.
Man, I was actually buried in that Nightmare Collective thing before this show.
Somebody needs to take the microphone off Brandy Rhodes and say, look, let's train.
That's what I said. That's exactly.
Every time, you know what she's like, Stephanie McMahon.
Whoa! Oh wow!
In as much as every time she comes out, people go, "Oh Christ," and then it's just incessant.
Yeah, I agree. I really do.
But yeah, look, if you want to get me on AEW to sort this out, girls, then we can.
He's like, I'll go. I'll be like, I'll take the
No,
spot.
but I mean that's not the full reason.
Sure.
I just found. Particularly on the debut episode, one thing I hoped is that they employed Jim Ross and Tony Schiavone, two legendary commentators. They are synonymous with wrestling in America.
Sure.
And then you have all these new people, new to a mainstream audience, the Bucks, Omega. Cody's been out the mainstream limelight for a little while. Did the commentators explain any of their background? No, they didn't. They just assumed that you would know.
Right.
You know, there was a spot I remember on the opening episode where Omega grabs a mop, whips it on the floor, and Excalibur says, "The cleaner, the cleaner." And I thought, you know, there's going to be 3/4 of the audience watching at home going, what the fuck does that mean?
True. That's facts. That's facts. You got to give backstories and.
That's why they need Taz there.
Oh, Taz was so good.
Well, no, they've already got Ross and Shivani.
We got Ross and Shivani.
The job should have already been done.
True.
But maybe that's nitpicking, but it was something that stood out to me immediately, and I thought, it's a strange thing.
Yeah. So?
Damn it.
Hutch?
Why you hate on Dark Order, bro?
Did you see those punches that were thrown at Dustin
They
Rhodes?
addressed that. He was dealt with.
He won't be back, will he?
Well, someone else took the blame for it, didn't they?
I can't help it.
On purpose to try and deflect the heat off whoever it was. Really,
Oh yeah.
the whole thing was a shit show.
I'll
I mean,
give it to them. They did try to address it.
Yeah, for sure.
In that little vignette that they did, because they were like, "Oh no, we can't have weakness here." They actually showed the clip of the guy doing the punches, and
yeah, that guy looked like he was bringing in the wheat. He was.
And no, you know a funny story about that? I follow a guy on Twitter, right, who shared that clip. And
I should have been playing
Twitter
Joe
went
Rio at
apeshit
this point.
over this and said that this man single-handedly killed the credibility of a multi-billion-dollar company with one tweet.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I
about
saw
that.
Tony Khan give a stunner to Sean Spears, and I would say that's worse.
Is the one that Tony Khan did to him?
Yeah, it was after the cameras went off and he gave the stunner.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, we actually talked about that on Pope's podcast. Guys, check that out, Pope's Point of View. But yeah, I myself, I claim to be an AEW fan, and I am. I really do like AEW. But there are some things now that I guess that I've kind of jumped deeper into the business. You know what I mean? That I see, and I'm like, like. I think that they got to do a better job at storytelling, the psychology. Like, one of the biggest things that I didn't like, and I want your opinion on this, and of course you too, Hutch. There was this massive destroyer that Dustin Rhodes did on Sammy Guevara a few weeks ago, and it was on the apron, the hardest part of the ring. You know what I mean? And not even the next sequence, but the next move later. It wasn't even a whole sequence later. It was the next move. Sammy G's running the ropes like he was just good, and that just, I did not like that. That took me, I'll be honest, like, that took me out of the match. So, I guess my next question for you, Earl, is where are you at with the new school style of wrestling where people can, where competitors can pretty much kill each other, and then they're just a move later, they're up, they're not selling, they're not holding their neck or their back, their pussy or their crack, but they're not holding anything. Like, what do you think about that, man?
I mean, I think it has its place as much as everything else.
Sure.
That's what people want. Some people love the speed and the frantic nature of that stuff. You know, we saw a debate recently about Jordan Oliver and Blake Christian.
Oh, yes.
Where people said that's not wrestling. It is.
Yeah.
Wrestling is exactly what you want it to be. There are times when I want to watch a match like that. Then there's a time when I want to watch the Natural Disasters versus the Nasty Boys.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah, for sure.
And I want to see that. Oh, my neck. Oh, my back. And I'm not going to say the rest of it.
Don't worry, the listeners are.
But the type of wrestling you were talking about with Guevara taking the destroy and then running the ropes. You know, that offers something else on its own.
Yeah.
And that shows the sort of, I think that displays, in a kayfabe sense, the competitive, never say die attitude of certain performers.
Adrenaline pumping.
Yeah, the adrenaline. They say, you can pile drive me, but I'll get up. I'm going to be exhausted after the match, but I'll keep going.
Yeah.
I think that's how I reason with it in my head.
Yeah. I understand that. That makes sense.
If anything, I'm in awe of those guys, the guys who go 90 miles an hour
go,
constantly.
go.
Yeah, I'll never ever be able to do that.
Oh no, me neither.
And for those people, I have a special, certain admiration for. You know, I've been up close to some of these quicker, more high-flying wrestlers.
Sure.
And it's a joy to watch.
Yeah.
And I don't think I could ever put a negative spin on it.
Yeah.
It would be like saying, well, I own a red car, but now I really don't like green cars. That doesn't make any sense. You know? Maybe. I don't know if it's like that, actually.
Oh, no, I totally understand where you're coming from. But I guess my next question for you is we were just talking about characters. How we're looking to bring characters to DCCW, and that we talk about NWA Power, and how there is now a huge want. Like, I know a lot of people, they're people on Twitter, people that I talk to, people on Facebook, they want to see that quote-unquote gimmick era come back.
I want to see the Goon come back.
Some gimmicks.
Oh my God.
Yes.
And Mantar. Can we get
Mantar, Bastion Booger, Duke Jose.
Jace has 3
I love
it.
Look, and see, here's the thing about these, wanting characters and everything. Everybody's talking shit about this Lana wedding, right?
Yeah.
Lana Lashley wedding.
Sure.
Guess what was one of the highest rated segments on Raw?
That same thing.
And why is that?
Because it was a shit show.
Because looking back at it, and
Because it was a built-up story with a definitive conclusion.
Yes.
Whoa, you're not getting out of here.
Great point, Hutch.
She is a character, and they were playing this so over the top and
see that
ridiculous
shit.
that it became where like I couldn't take my eyes off of it.
That's it. That's it, bro.
And that is compelling television.
Yeah.
And again, a lot of people just lambasted this thing, just hated on it, and I'm sitting there going, y'all, I don't know if this was just accidentally brilliant or if this is actually brilliant.
Right.
But that one segment was awesome. It drew a lot. It brings back to the original point. People want characters.
I think it broke like 5 million views on YouTube. Yeah, that's huge. I mean, that's more viewers than they get every Monday night.
Facts, bro. Facts.
And Lana was trending like that's 2 times the amount of views that they did.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lana was trending for like a minute.
Was she really?
Okay. Well, after that all went down.
Well, there was also the added controversy of the lesbian love angle.
Yeah,
as
it was
well,
Liv Morgan.
which obviously we know what they're doing there, and it's worked.
Yeah, got people talking, yada yada yada, and that. I mean, that's the name of the game. Is get people talking, bring them in. You got to bring them in because it's just like going to a show. If you bring them in, guess what? You got their money, right? And if they don't like what they're seeing after that and they leave, you still got their money.
But you won't get another lot of money.
Right, that's the truth. That's the truth. But I think that's the thing with WWE is sometimes they're short-sighted in that way. That they're trying to get it now instead of later. But with WrestleMania season coming up, they're going to have to get out of that mindset and start building towards WrestleMania. But that's a whole nother conversation. My question for you, Earl, is with everybody wanting to see characters again, I want to ask, we know who Earl, now we've learned who Earl Joseph the man is. Who is the Liverpool Lip? Who is the character?
No, the Liverpool Lip is somebody who is clearly defined ultimately by who he is and where he's from. And he uses that to his advantage.
Yeah, for sure.
It makes people listen to Earl Joseph. People listen to Liverpool Lavender Pants here, and their attention is commanded.
Yeah.
People have come up to me and they said, as soon as you open your mouth, I'm listening.
Yeah.
And that's a power that can be used for good or evil.
Absolutely, that's the truth, bro. So true.
But Earl Joseph, the character, is somebody who just wants to make his own way. By being himself, primarily. In a world of people who are themselves as well. So it's that determination to get to the top. Earl Joseph is at once as a sarcastic, cynical person, but always open to new things and always willing to try something else out.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love that answer.
Nice, yeah. There you go. If you don't know, guys, now you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not bad for a question I was totally blindsided by.
That's what we do.
Yeah, we will do that. Drake, you've been quiet over there, man. You got any questions, man?
My girlfriend wanted me to ask you a question. She was at the show with me.
Look, I'm married, all right?
I know. I tried to
Drake's
tell
not
her.
getting cut.
You didn't know.
No, that's
working,
a character gimmicker.
You didn't know I was working for Vince this whole time.
Drake Lashley here.
Who's booking this shit?
My girlfriend wanted to know if like the pants change at the DCCW was planned or if that was for them calling you lavender pants and making fun of your lavender pants the whole time.
Well, it was actually. There's 2 answers to that.
I'm curious.
There's the kayfabe answer, there's the shoot answer.
What road would you like to take?
Yeah.
this man? You're the captain on this magic carpet, right?
Sure,
So,
yeah,
where you wanna
absolutely.
go?
Well, I just wanted to give people something to think about. That whole first half, we had 88 saying lavender pants. I had people in the crowd pointed out. I go out there in different pants. It's going to make them look and think, what could happen next?
Yeah.
If I come out and they go, right, well, this guy's changed his purple pants. He's reacting to the show as it goes by.
For sure.
And it made people notice, because as soon as I came out, 88 said, oh, Mr. Lavender. Didn't have anything to say.
So I have a question. How prepared are you, Mr. Pants?
I mean, I take 3 outfits to every show.
Fair
I'm like Lady Gaga.
That brings me to, but so like if the crowd's like, we want red pants, you're gonna be like, hold on a moment.
Well, that's the thing. You have to do everything in moderation. So I'm not going to start pandering to them. If people say we want red pants, I probably won't get them out. Always got to leave them wanting more, right?
For sure. Yeah. I love it.
And there'll be a show where I don't acquiesce to that demand, and they'll go, well, maybe he'll do it next time. Best pony up for that ticket, huh?
Yeah, hey.
Pay to see the red pants.
I know, if people are paying to see what trousers I'm wearing, then it's a great night for everybody. Everyone gets paid.
Everybody's good. And I guess my next question is like, what in the hell happened with you and the syndicate? Are you in the syndicate? Do you know where the bodies are buried? What is going on?
Well, Earl Joseph likes to play all sides.
Okay, yeah.
And I like to keep my options open.
Sure.
And Vinny, who has been a contact of mine since I entered the industry, has given me a lot of advice, a lot of stuff worth listening to.
Sure.
A lot of punches to the chest. But, we spoke at length about different ideas he had, and it sounded like a good proposition, and I think I may well look to be a spokesman at different times for the syndicate. I'm happy to see how that goes. They're a good group. They're a good group of lads.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought they were responsible for the pants change, because all of a sudden, you did the thing, with the thing instead of getting, and all of a sudden, here comes.
That was purely just to keep the crowd on their toes. I wanted them to notice.
Yeah,
I wanted them to see.
Awesome. So, I guess my next question for you now is, me and you hit the town after the show, and I lost you. Where did you go?
I tell you, I just woke up, right?
Yeah.
In some old woman's backyard, and she just would not stop screaming.
Wow.
Oh God! So you were in this old lady's backyard. She's screaming at you. You probably have a splitting headache.
Yeah, it's like Tom and Jerry. She's chasing me around, going, Thomas, Earl Joseph. Yeah,
she's the newspaper.
Yeah, she's whacking me. I hightail it out of there, and I'm like, God.
Oh gosh. But it was a great night.
It was a great night. That I remember. The last thing I remember is you putting your arm around me and saying the girls in California are nice. And then there's an old woman screaming at me.
So he's blacked out.
It's just like being back in England again, to be honest.
Oh man.
Piece of home.
Yeah.
Little piece of home. So Hutch, you got anything else for our man, the Liverpool Live?
Well, usually a question that I typically have is, what's the crazy things you've seen on the road and whatnot in the game? But I think you've just covered that with the waking up in Ethel's backyard, bro.
Yeah. She was definitely an Ethel.
Oh.
No, you know what? I haven't seen anything too insane, and if I had, I don't think I would.
Right.
Oh yeah, no, we wouldn't want
I
you to.
always do get. I didn't get a chance this time, but I always preface that with stories that you can.
Oh right.
Tell.
Yeah.
But even so, there's not generally anything I can or cannot say. I've had a great time going on the road. I've travelled with the Original Sins.
Oh yes.
A lot. I believe we're heading up to Terre Haute together on Saturday.
Awesome. Okay.
And it's always a great time. Those boys have really helped me when I first started. Because when I first started, it might sound crazy, but I tell you, I was a bundle of nerves. Certainly on those first shows, because I was like, it has to be perfect or it's shit forever.
Yeah.
We get one shot.
Yep.
And those two.
He's an idiot.
You sound like Gorilla Monsoon. Will you stop? But those two, Tyler Lydell and me and Dick Michaels had the Original Sins. They both really shepherded me at times. And for two guys that are 10 years younger than me, it's a bit of a role reversal. I expected to be the road dad, but they're my road fathers. So I owe them a great deal as well.
An interesting dynamic. Good kids, though.
They are.
Those guys are great.
I really do like those guys. I've had some good dialogues with Tyler, and finally got a chance to really talk to Mean Dick at the DCCW show. And yeah, they're good kids, man.
Yeah, they've got a very bright future. They're getting all around. They're heading up to Tennessee this month to go against Sean Kemp and Jonathan Wolfe.
Yes, IFHY. Yeah.
Which I wish I could go and see. I need to get a recording of that because that will be one hell of a match.
Oh, that's gonna be nuts.
But they're also going to be there at New Wave as well.
Yes,
obviously
great.
because they're traveling with me.
Awesome, man. So I guess we'll get close to closing this thing out. But I guess one of my last questions for you is, at the end of the day, and I know I've already kind of asked this question, but I want to know, at the end of the day, when your career is all said and done, it's all over, what is at least 3 things you want to say that you have done, that you want to get under your belt?
I'd like to get back in the ring and win a championship.
Yeah.
Because I've been off for a long time with this injury. broke my wrist in my first main event.
Oh no!
And it was the first move I performed.
No!
It was a drop kick, and I caught myself and just crumbled my wrist into oblivion.
Oh no! Oh.
Yeah, that was quite the wake-up call.
Welcome to the business.
I would like to be on television.
Yeah.
I would like to be part of a regular, televised program at one point.
Yeah.
And a third one. Oh, I don't know actually. You've caught me on the hop here, Con. A third one. I can't think of anything past getting back. Well, let's say getting back in the ring, 1.
Yeah.
Winning a championship, 2.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
Televised show, 3. There we go.
And I think you just came up with your own shirt.
Yeah.
Liverpool lit on the hot plate. And no gimmicking you with little lavender pants on. Looking like Mario.
I mean, look, if I had the money, I would mass produce purple jeans.
Oh, there you go.
Dude, has a pair of pants ever been sold at a wrestling show?
I'm not sure they have.
They've probably been stolen plenty of times.
I'm not giving them back either.
He's like, yeah,
Zubaz. I didn't know what Zubaz was until I came to this country. I'm pretty sure they don't have them back home.
No, they don't have those. No Zubaz.
I don't think so. Not under that brand name. I mean, stretchy pants, yes.
Wow. Huh. So, Hutch, you got anything?
Usually I take it home with the crazy road stories question,
Yeah.
but
Just want to make sure that you got everything because this has been a great episode.
Again, he's like gonna give me the. He said it was Macy's where he's got the pants, but I think he's got a pants guy.
You probably got a pants guy. You think so?
He's got a pants guy.
Yeah.
He's got a pants guy.
Oh no, actually, I do have a road story.
Uh-oh.
Sorry, it just came to me.
Well, then let me ask, what type of road stories do you have, sir, that
Well,
you can tell?
This goes back
Pants.
to the wrist breaking incident. Okay.
Oh, okay.
We're in a town called Paragon in Indiana, which exists.
Kind of like Anderson, but different.
Right.
And the show was taking place in a street fair that was going on. So we get there, we set up the ring, and we have a couple of hours till show. And I'm taking a walk with one of the guys, and we're going up. I was trying to find out what an elephant's ear was.
Maybe a real elephant.
Yeah, no, that's what I thought. It's like eating a shoe. Anyway, so we're walking up, and they've got a couple of fairground rides. They've got all these sugary food stands and some particular.
Drake's over here like, yo.
Yeah, they do. I know all about that. Okay.
And then I see one stand, and it's selling flags. Right. Got your usual stuff, USA, Don't Tread on Me, Eagle, other countries' flags as well, and a bunch of other stuff. And then I'm flicking through them all, and guess what I see?
What's that?
Swastika.
Oh no. Oh no.
You got that record stop sound effect? Like, yikes.
So yeah, I mean that casts quite a pall over the show.
Yeah.
And then we go back to the main. I'm in a triple threat with Michelle Laveau and Ava Lee.
Yeah.
And we get to meet. I come in the ring. I grab Michelle. I whip her off. Jump to do the drop kick. Slam. And then I hear this wet pop. And I've never broken a bone before, but I knew I'd done it. And I look at the ref. And I'm waving my arm at him. And I look at him and I go, I think it's broken, mate. And then my opponent, not knowing what's going on, because I'm on the floor, sticks me in a camel clutch.
Oh Lord. Pain.
So I finally,
You lost me a wet pop, bro.
yeah, and it was like I was like the Queen waving, or like one of those things you see out used car.
The wacky wavy.
Yeah.
Wacky wavy, two man, yeah.
Oh my God.
So I roll out the ring and I'm assessing it, and for the first few seconds I'm saying, it's fine. I'm like Monty Python. It's for the flesh wound. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm thinking I could finish this match. And then I go, no, this is silly. And as I'm about to turn and walk, one of the people in the crowd goes, hey, maybe you can go back to Britain and learn how to fucking wrestle.
Oh.
And that was just the piss on the cake, honestly.
Wow. What an asshole. Oh my God.
It was.
This match brought to you by Morton's Salt.
And then by the end of the day, I was on so much morphine, it didn't really matter.
Yeah. Oh.
But that's the road story.
Oh my
Wow.
goodness. Crazy.
All of that.
Crazy. Yeah, man.
Shit.
My goodness. So, this has been a really great conversation, really great episode, man. And I've loved it. Hutch, I know you've really enjoyed yourself. Drake, you feel the same way. So what we like to do here at In Your House, Earl, is we look to give our guests an opportunity to plug anything that they want to plug. Social medias, upcoming appearances, anything. This is your floor, your opportunity to plug. So go ahead, Earl, and plug it.
All right, you'll find me, Earl Joseph, at the Liverpool Lip on Twitter. You're also going to see me at Terre Haute National Guard Armoury on Saturday, January 11th, turning out for New Wave Pro on their 7th anniversary show. It's going to be absolutely incredible. I'm going to be the live backstage correspondent. The following week, Saturday, January 18th, at Christian Park Activity Centre in Indianapolis, I'll be the backstage correspondent for Upstart Pro.
Nice.
We're going to be looking at that show at Shattered Reality. We're going to be looking to crown the first ever undisputed Indianapolis women's champion in a fatal five-way. We've got Justin Carl main eventing there.
Wow.
It's going to be one hell of a show.
Stacked.
Yeah, it's at Christian Park Activity Centre in Indianapolis. I think that's 4200 English Avenue, if my memory serves.
Yeah.
So yeah, but the 2 Saturdays, and I worked Monday last week, so it's been go.
Been consistent.
Yeah.
Been consistent, steady work.
And as Yaz once sang, I don't know if that is too oblique a reference. You get it.
I'm with you.
Yeah, we're around the same age bracket.
I'm with you. And then we got probably 5 people out there who's like, yes.
Yeah. As Yaz would sing, the only way is up, baby, for you and me now.
Well, now.
I'm a fan.
Oh, man. So, Earl, it has been a complete pleasure having you on the show. You're, like I said before, and I've said it on the last show that we did, but I'll say it to you. You're super creative, just charismatic, and a complete pleasure to work with.
Thank you.
I really, really enjoy it, and I look forward to working with you. I hope a lot more in the future. And, man, just thank you so much for coming on our show and blessing our podcast and making it that much better.
No worries. I've had a great time. It was almost worth driving to Anderson for. I'm kidding. No, it's been wonderful.
The purgatory.
If anything, everyone, almost to a man and woman, has been so welcoming and so willing to listen to my ideas and to put me in there, give me that opportunity. Like I said, there's a number of people I owe a debt to, and I'm sure there will be over the coming years, because I really kind of don't plan to go away.
Yeah, good, because that's what we need here, because there's something big here in Indiana. I think that this year, 2020, is going to be such a huge year for Indiana wrestling, and a lot of that, in my personal opinion, is because of Liverpool Lip Earl Joseph.
Well, and all the people who actually wrestle, obviously.
Of course. Obviously that, but we gotta have
in the machine.
Exactly. We gotta have big personalities, man. You gotta have them. You have to have them. So once again, thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you, guys. It's been a right blast. Thank you.
Great. Hey, Drake, you know what time it is, man. You go ahead and plug it, bro.
You can follow me on Twitter. I'm trying to remember my handle. I feel like Mike over there. I have to look
Damn it,
it
you
up.
forgot it
No,
again.
it's at. You can follow me on Twitter at Drake Reports IYH if you want to, see wrestling tweets and angry and sad lyrics. And memes, and funny stuff. That's about Follow me there.
You get there.
Yep, that's what you get.
Awesome. And Hutch, you know what time it is, man. You go ahead and plug it, bro.
Yeah. Instagram, Twitter. You can follow me on the Instagram at Hutch and Your House. It's spelled just like the name of the show. It's going to your earholes right now. And also follow me on Twitter. I'm up to like 360,
You're getting up there,
69
bro.
people.
Just a few months ago, you was only at 30.
I know. Like it's been like a month and a half? I know. Drake's over there smiling. He's over there. You ain't got that Boomer Twitter app anymore, bud.
Okay, Boomer.
You're able to tweet in modern age and all that. Whatever. But he's right. Real talk. I won't put Drake over and actually say that. He was like, man, you're using his bullshit. Twitter application. You need to use this. It works better. I did. And big ups to you, homie. I'll give it to you. But give me a follow on the Twitter at Hutch IYH. Let me know what you did, and give this guy a follow on Twitter and keep up with what he's doing. Just to kind of recap what he said. Thank you very much.
Yeah, a lot of my tweets are like sort of miserable observations that I delete an hour later.
Guilty.
So you got to be there. You got to be there quick to get the unfiltered content of my mind.
But what we always say here, man, it doesn't matter what you cheer, what you boo, be it WWE, New Japan, Ring of Honor, AEW, any of that, and DCCW. And you used to hear those 4 letters, because you're going to hear them a lot come this year. We are wrestling, we are legion, and I'll give a damn what the Dark Order says. I said this shit first. We are. And thank you very much for listening. We'll catch you next time.
We are one. One of the great slogans from the cornerstone of commentary, Mikey Hutch. And guys, this was a great, great episode. Once again, thank you to our guest, the Liverpool Lip, Earl Joseph, made for a great, great episode. Because you guys know what we give you. We give you that work. So let me let you guys know where you guys can listen to this at. You guys can listen to this at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Himalaya. Hey, you don't have an Apple device? That's all right. We're on Google Play. Anywhere that you guys are, we can get to you. Check out the Director and the Liverpool Lip this Saturday. Oh, yes, that is New Wave Pro Wrestling, the anniversary show. You want to check it out in Terre Haute, Indiana. We're going to be there. We're going to be getting that work. Guys, what are you doing? Buy a freaking shirt. That's www.prowrestlingtees.com/inyourhouse. Get this work. Get this shirt. And guys, we tell you this all the time. Hop on this bandwagon. Get on or get gone. Because the household, well, we still going mighty strong. You guys have a great day and a great rest of your week. Peace.